Hi friends, welcome back. Come sit with me and let's sit together as we open 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verses 1 through 16. Paul is talking about head coverings and order in worship, but there's so much more here than just a piece of cloth on the head. Paul had been in Corinth previously prior to this letter for 2 years. The believers trusted him, so he encouraged them to imitate him as he imitates Christ. He was not being arrogant and he did not present himself as perfect or sinless, but his life was an example of what a committed Christian's life looked like. In 1 Thessalonians 3 verse 7 through 9, Paul gives an example of such a situation wherein he can be imitated as an example. From verses 2 through 16, Paul's main concern is reverence in worship. Two cultural backgrounds clashing at this time. So, Paul's main concern was reverence during worship. Jewish women always covered their heads. An uncovered head in public was seen as having loose morals. Ooh. Greek women might have been used to participating in worship with uncovered heads. So, Paul's solution in this situation was God's sovereign rules for relationships and following the Jewish way of doing things in this specific situation. Three main things stand out to us: respect for your spouse, reverence for God, and appropriateness in worship. Paul encouraged the women who were not wearing head coverings to do so in order to avoid division in the church over petty issues. Wearing a head covering is not scriptural command, but it avoided division over a petty issue that would take people's focus off of Christ. Because let's be honest, we know how people are. The phrase "the head of the man is Christ" could mean Christ is the creator of every man and that Christ is the main source of life for every believer. The phrase "the head of every woman is man" does not indicate man's control over woman, but rather means he is her source of provision. Yes, God created Adam first, but not with the intention that men would lord control over women and abuse them. Husband and wife have been created as equal before God, but it is the husband's responsibility to love, care, and provide for the wife as Christ does for the church. Ephesians 5:25 says, "Husbands, love your wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her." A wife who loves and trusts her husband's leadership will automatically submit to him, not because she is forced, but because she trusts him. God has installed lines of authority, not lines of superiority. Man and woman both have characteristics that complement each other. One is not better than the other. Paul again mentions head coverings and the length of hair. By addressing this, Paul is warning us to not look or behave in ways that the world does. Honor kingdom culture. In some cultures, long hair on men is considered masculine. At the time that Paul was writing this letter, men with long hair in Corinth were male prostitutes and women with short hair were female prostitutes. And they had uncovered hair. So Paul was saying, do anything possible to not associate with the worldly culture, even if it means changing your hairstyle. Romans 12 verse 2 says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will." Friends, Paul wasn't making a big deal out of a small thing. He was protecting the unity of the church and helping them honor God in their culture. So let's learn from this. In everything we do, let's choose what brings glory to God and helps others see Christ more clearly. Thank you for joining me today. If 1 Corinthians 11 verse 1 through 16 encouraged you about honor, respect, and living differently than the world, would you please share this video with a friend? God willing, I will see you tomorrow as we continue in chapter 11. Until then, let's honor God and one another in everything that we do. And remember, you are deeply, deeply loved. Shalom. Shalom.